The so-called police contact points is actually part of China's overseas police operation, and it is detailed and revealed by a human rights group based in Spain, which is called Safeguard Defenders. The reports actually revealed that in more than 80 cities, there are Chinese branches operating for Chinese citizens living abroad, especially during the very difficult periods in COVID, that people cannot really travel back home for their household registration, driver's license renewal, or their passport issues very easily. And at the same time, the report also detailed that more than 230,000 Chinese citizens who are the potential suspects of criminals were persuaded to return home, and some of their family members were also under threats for calling them home.
Yeah, because it's puzzling. If it's a contact centre to help with passport and driver's licences, why would a police presence be required?
That is also the main question for the Human Rights Group's report. Basically, the question is, if there are Chinese embassies around the world, do people really need another police presence to assist with them, for those affairs? And apparently, in some part of the Chinese police, they also tried to contact some of the offenders or criminals living in those countries, which actually made human rights lawyers question whether that operation is legal, and at the same time whether they will use some illegal means to make that approach.
And legal within the country that they're operating in. So you understand that there was one of these contact centres opened in Sydney. Is it still operating?
The question is that, the whole operation in Sydney is very secretive, so we don't have a clear answer about that. But the latest interview we've done with the Chinese police based in Wenzhou City, they confirmed that the system is still operating, and we can contact one of the groups, which is called Australia Wenzhou Chamber of Industry and Commerce, for assistance. But apparently, when we try to deal with the organization, it is extremely difficult. The president of the organization, firstly, he said that the system is no longer operating, but later he said that they had never had such service for Chinese diaspora living in Australia, which is apparently a very contradictory comment from that person. But in fact, the address and the details of these contact points is still listed on China's official websites for the Wenzhou police.
Interesting. Has this human rights group been able to contact any of these people that supposedly went back to China?
Some of the suspects' family members were contacted by the human rights group, and in fact, in China, state-owned media have exposed all of the operations and their details in a style that they praise the police effective operation overseas. So the state-owned media report also mentioned that this whole operation is part of service and kind of like a work for the Chinese President Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative.
So even that doesn't make sense in terms of needing a police presence for that kind of initiative, which is meant to be very economic.
Exactly. Under the Belt and Road Initiative, there is really the police or some other corporation, for example, government bodies or agencies, to really exercise the President Xi Jinping's calling for that. But the problem is for Australia in Sydney, the contact points, the details are really vague, and Australia doesn't really have any Belt and Road Initiative agreement with China. So whether the call for fulfilling the president's call for the Belt and Road Initiative is legitimate, that is a question.
So no doubt some investigations need to happen. Great to have you in. Thanks so much. Good reporting.
Thank you very much, Beth.